Shadow in the storm. The storm had been raging for hours, and with every crack of thunder, I felt the walls tremble around me. As the lights flickered and finally gave out, I fumbled through the darkness to find a candle. The room was eerily silent except for the rain pounding against the windows. I struck a match, and as the candle's glow filled the room, my heart dropped. There, on the wall, was the shadow of a person, a shadow that seemed to move independently, as though the person it belonged to was in the room with me. But I was alone, at least, I thought I was. I tried to rationalize it, thinking it must be a trick of the light or an odd reflection. But the shadow grew bolder, its silhouette clearer against the wall, moving closer as I stood frozen in place. I remembered the stories my grandmother used to tell about shadows that came to life during storms, seeking out those who had wronged them. I dismissed them as folklore, but now, standing in the dim light, they seemed all too real. My mind raced back to the old man I had argued with just yesterday at the grocery store. He had warned me, in his raspy voice, to be careful during the storm. The air seemed to thicken, and I felt an icy chill wrap around my spine. I took a step back, and the shadow advanced, mimicking my movements with an eerie precision. It was then I understood, this was no ordinary shadow. This was a specter, a manifestation of the anger and resentment I had stirred up. My pulse quickened as I realized the shadow was not just an illusion, it was an entity with its own intentions, one that had been summoned by my own actions. As the storm outside intensified, so did the presence in my room. I knew I had to act quickly. With trembling hands, I grabbed the candle and lunged towards the shadow, hoping to dispel it with the light. But instead of diminishing, it seemed to feed off the flame, growing larger and more defined. I could make out the old man's features now, twisted in a knowing grin. And then it spoke, in that same raspy voice, whispering that the storm was just the beginning. The candle flickered and went out, plunging me into darkness once more.